Yo, we hitting hyperspeed across the finish line. Lights on the ship look like it's Christmas time. Real recognized, real homie. And you've been looking unidentified. The government lied, why is it classified if there's nothing to hide? That's why we're looking for answers up in the sky. It's the theory with Mike Beavers.
Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel UFOs over UFO. For those of you that don't know, UFO stands for University of Oregon. I'm right here in Springfield, Oregon. Today's episode we have something pretty crazy for you guys. I actually recorded something myself a few nights ago. A very interesting set of two lights that seem to be connected to each other or following each other that didn't appear to have anything attached to them. I didn't see any flight indicator lights. I didn't hear any noise, and I see planes come across me all the time. So I recorded it. I got it for you guys. I was sitting right here in the room. We were playing a little bit of Xbox with some friends, some Call of Duty, and I look out the window and here's this light coming my way, and I thought it was peculiar at first because it looked a little strange. And I said, let me go out on the back porch, put my headset down, and I said, hold on guys, I'll be right back. Went out on the back porch, and then I saw this thing, and it was really interesting. No flashing lights, no flight indicators, no noise, no wings. So I recorded it for you guys. So we're going to check that out. I've got it shared up on Facebook already, but I haven't put it on YouTube. I actually haven't made a YouTube video in about 3 months. We're going to try to get back into this, just so you guys know kind of my situation. I had a new baby, little baby Eliana. So now we have Eliana and Analia. Eliana had some heart problems and actually required some surgery, so we got that done. She's doing great and healthy now and is all healed up and having a good time with Big Sister. So I also got a new job with a really big promotion, so I haven't had time to really make a whole bunch of content for you guys. But now, towards the end of the summer, my job's going to slow down a little bit, and I'm going to have some videos for you guys. More UFO footage reviews of stuff that people send me here in Oregon, or all around the world, to be honest. Any of it's pretty interesting. But also, some interviews. So I've already talked to a couple people locally that are willing to come on the show and talk about some things, so keep an eye out for that. But as always, today's video is brought to you guys by creepytiki.com and the Graveyard Goons. So normally I talk more about Creepy Tiki T, but today we're going to talk about the Graveyard Goons because they are blowing up on TikTok, dude. Millions of videos, and they are my homies. So I want you to go all follow them. They're super cool. They do live prank call shows on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. You can follow them on Facebook too for alerts, but Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, definitely TikTok. Go follow them. It's the Graveyard Goons. They'll prank call your friends. All you got to do is email them a number, send them something with a backstory about the person they want to prank call, and they will prank call them live, and it is raunchy and hilarious. So make sure you guys go follow them. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to go ahead and jump into this clip that I filmed right here off my back porch, and then we're going to talk about Washington State becoming #1 in UFO sightings, and a UFO sighting that happened just a week ago about a nuclear worker working at a nuclear power reserve that saw something pretty crazy. So let's go ahead and get into this. Here is the clip that I filmed on my back porch just a few nights ago.
What the fuck is that? Let's see, that's the road. Nothing here. What is that, dude? Did it go down to one light? It went down to one light. Now it's going behind the trees. What the
Alright guys, so as you can see, it's pretty strange. My friends were laughing at me. We were playing a little Call of Duty Warzone, like I said before, and I put my headset down to go record this thing because I thought it was extremely peculiar just looking at it through the window, let alone what I saw when I went out on the back porch. So, had no noise to it, no flight indicator lights, and normally that's the first thing you want to look for. We know about Starlink. We've seen satellite chains. I've seen it in person multiple times now because I actually tried to see it because it's very cool looking. This doesn't match the description of any of that. Normally when you see the ISS, the International Space Station, it's one ball of light that goes across. It's not two. So I have seen two whitish lights in the sky before go across the sky that were a little more spaced out and a lot smaller and a lot higher up. although I've not seen something this low that bright before. So I thought it was really interesting. So let me know in the comments what you guys think this might be, or if anybody here in the Springfield, Oregon area has seen it. But yeah, so pretty interesting stuff. That's why you always want to be out there sky watching and stuff. You never know what you might see, and it's nice. It's a peaceful thing to do. It's very relaxing. You go out there, hang out on your back porch in your backyard, maybe eat a little food, watch the stars, man. You might see something. But on to the next topic. Washington State is now #1 in UFO sightings, and Washington State, right above Oregon, is right here in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know what it is, but the Pacific Northwest has always been one of the biggest hotspots in the U.S. for UFOs, minus, you know, down south you have Arizona and New Mexico, and those are huge for UFO sightings and for UFO history. You have Roswell, Area 51, all that cool stuff. But the Pacific Northwest has been huge for UFO sightings since back in the 40s. It's been a pretty big thing. And there's all kinds of interesting UFO stories about it. You can go back on my channel and check out the videos I did about the Astoria, Oregon UFO sighting by police, where police actually followed a UFO and recorded the sounds of it. There's all kinds of them. So it's weird out here. But I wanted to show you guys this because it was pretty interesting. And then we have this nuclear power reserve worker who sees this strange cigar-shaped UFO at the nuclear power reserve. And UFOs and nuclear power have always had a history ever since, you know, back in the Rendlesham Forest UFO incident. Back in Rendlesham, England, at the U.S. Air Force Base there, Jim Penniston, who I've actually interviewed on this channel before, that was a nuclear Air Force base and had one of the most famous UFO sightings. They call it the UK's Roswell. And it was most likely due to nuclear weapons. Also, if you go back in time, there's a lot of relation between UFOs, nuclear power plants, nuclear weapons. It's very interesting, and there's a lot of theories on it. It could be, you know, that they don't want us blowing ourselves up with nuclear weapons. That would be option number one. It could be that they're interested in the fact that we learned about nuclear power. But it's all up to guess at this point. Nobody really knows, except maybe the government, but we'll talk about that another day. But it's pretty interesting. So make sure my people here in the Pacific Northwest are watching these skies and seeing what's going on. I've got a little story here for you guys on the news channel talking about Washington's UFO sightings and whatnot. So we'll go ahead and we'll run that for you guys, and then that's probably going to be it for today. But I just wanted to drop it and give you guys some fresh content because I've been gone for some time now. Let's go ahead and check out this clip, and we'll be right back.
Tonight, whether you believe in aliens or UFOs or not, there is a real meeting about UFOs happening in the Tri-Cities tomorrow. Max Hughes spoke with the chief inspector of the Washington chapter of MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, about what investigators do when an alleged sighting is reported. Hello, Max.
Hi, Tracy. According to MUFON, a newly published report ranks Washington as #1 in the country for UFO sightings per capita. MUFON looks into every case reported on its website, according to Dan Nims, chief investigator of the Washington chapter. He tells me around 200 sightings get reported to the Washington chapter yearly. He says its goal is to collect data on UFO sightings to help better understand what people are seeing. He says investigators look at things like flight radars, known meteors, and even Starlink data when trying to identify what the objects might be, and that 70% of cases close when investigators figure out what the object is. MUFON is holding a couple meetings in our area this weekend, one tonight in Walla Walla, and another tomorrow afternoon in Kennewick.
I frequently ask the question, how many of you have seen a UFO? And since it's a UFO meeting, it's not uncommon to see the vast majority of the hands go up.
To see where MUFON commonly receives reports for UFOs and when the conferences will happen, you can visit our website at nbcrightnow.com.
All right, so Washington people, keep an eye out for these MUFON meetings. They're very interesting. You can honestly go on Facebook and talk to most MUFON researchers, investigators, and head of MUFON. Each state has its own director of MUFON. Tom Bowden, I believe, is the one of Oregon's MUFON director, or Oregon's MUFON chapter, whatever you want to call it. You can reach out to him about UFO sightings. If you post a UFO sighting on the Oregon MUFON website, or report, not necessarily post, but report it, he will actually contact you himself a lot of times to talk about these things and ask about what you saw, the video evidence, you know, how all that good stuff works for a good investigation. There's also the National UFO Reporting Center, which is called NUFORC for short. You can report to them as well, and they will call you back. Back in, what, 2000, 18 when I recorded that UFO here in Springfield. They both reached out to me, talked to me about it, took a full report. It's very interesting and it's cool. And if you talk to some of these guys, you can get a lot of cool information about what's going on UFO-wise in your state. So keep an eye out for that. Washington, props to you for being #1 in UFO sightings. I am out of here. Again, make sure you guys go check out the Graveyard Goons on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, even Twitter. I think they have a cool Twitter too. But I'm out of here. You guys stay tuned. Hopefully some cool content will be coming soon.